y'all, it's Nim, or Nim McCree if you're feeling professional, and welcome to a YouTube video. I know it's been a little while since I've done stuff. I was originally doing a lot of the after hours stuff, and then it was like, it doesn't really work. You know, after hours is meant for something that I find to be important. So that's why we talked about toxic positivity. That's why we talked about money. That's why we talked about ways to carry yourself on the internet. And there will be a link right up there in the card. We'll take that if you want to check out some of the after hours stuff. It's basically your bartender being real with you, having a couple of drinks. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy VII. I remember waking up on Christmas morning in 1997, getting a brand new PlayStation and Final Fantasy VII. I then played for 2 hours, right? I was just like, oh my god, let's get it. And I didn't have a memory card! Because, you know, my parents thinking that, hey, you don't need what's a memory card for? Oh, you're fine. You're good. You know, it's just like everything else. And then turns out, no, you actually need a memory card. So I had to start over, and I was young Nim was just crushed. But luckily it's fine. So without further ado, let's actually get into it. In an article by Games Radar by Mr. Aaron Potter, whose both Twitter handle, the link to it, and the source article will be in the video description, so feel free to check that out. Because remember, folks, I am a video game pundit. I'm not a journalist so much. I don't know what the difference is, but I didn't do any of this research. I'm just kind of repackaging it and regurgitating it. So I want to make sure that I give the journalists, the people who write in an increasingly difficult industry to break into, I want to make sure they get the credit they deserve. So again, follow Aaron Potter if you enjoy this, and of course, you can check out Games Radar. Now, let's see here. Reliable leaks indicate that a Final Fantasy VII Remake demo is coming soon. A chance to visit Square Enix 2020 reinvention early. Now we look at this beautiful, beautiful screenshot. We see Cloud there with the Buster Sword in Shinra headquarters, looking all like looking all badass. And Shinra, you know, Shinra has a vague imperial look about it. I think it's the reds and the golds. But I always enjoyed that part of the story. For those who don't know, there's a time where you go to Shinra's headquarters. You go there more than once, but I won't say how many. Because some people may be like, spoilers, even though the game came out in 1997. But Nim, what if people haven't played the game? Well, the answer to that is, it's been on the internet since 1997. So deal with it. I don't really know what to tell you there. All right, and continuing on. PS4 players will soon be able to get a better sense of how 2020 Final Fantasy VII Remake will look and feel to play, all thanks to a new leak, seemingly confirming that a demo is on its way. We know this because the demo was briefly glimpsed by tracking site GameStat, the same source that most recently confirmed the existence of Resident Evil 3 Remake, which then went on to be officially announced later. Of course, Square Enix has yet to comment on the appearance of this demo, let alone offer a time of release. But considering Final Fantasy VII's March 3rd, 2020 release date, odds are we won't have to wait long before it pops up on the PlayStation Network. Now, that makes perfect sense. You wouldn't want someone to pre-opt your press event. You know, be like, oh, hey, we got the links, we know what's going to happen. No, you're going to deny. And then eventually, when it's your time and your product and your everything, you're going to say, okay, yeah, it's live. It's here. We got this. And people will be like, well, we already knew. Why didn't you just confirm it? Because it's their product and they can do with it as they wish. Now, are there sometimes leaks that turn out to be accurate? Yes, as we saw with the Resident Evil 3 thing. But I'm glad, look, Square Enix, take your time. Take your time, release it right, make sure it's not filled with microtransactions and other exploitable game mechanics, no loot boxes, no things like that. And I'm not even really worried about that with a Final Fantasy VII Remake. At the end of the video, or before we get to the end of the video, I'll let you know what I'm actually concerned about. A long-awaited reimagining of 1997's original PlayStation 1 classic, Final Fantasy VII Remake, first episode is exclusively releasing on the PS4 for a limited time, with a second episode already well into development. Our most recent look at the game came during the Game Awards of 2019, where a minute-and-a-half-long trailer showcased its healthy mix of cinematic spectacle and active time battle combat. If this trailer is anything to go by, Final Fantasy VII fans are in for a treat come March. Absolutely. If you are a fan, I can't imagine that this article swayed anybody who didn't like Final Fantasy VII to liking Final Fantasy VII. The same thing as I can't imagine if anybody who likes Final Fantasy VII was like, oh, well, I can't, I don't want any spoilers, no demos, no nothing, no anything. That doesn't make any sense. It's a game that has such a mythos around it that you might as well, if you like it, you like it. It's hard to not be after being exposed, it's hard not to have an opinion on it. Because the writing, the game, it's a tour de force of gaming. We'll have to wait to see what section of the game Final Fantasy VII Remake demo will feature, but it stands to reason that it'll likely be something similar to the one playable at E3 earlier this year. The chance to get another taste of Midgar sooner than expected, how's that for a New Year's treat? And then, of course, so let's take care of that. I want to mention one thing that I'm concerned about is that Final Fantasy VII, when it first released, had messages of anti-corporatism, had messages of environmental terrorism, which it was. You were blowing up energy reactors. That is environmentally terroristic activity. I mean, that's a thing. Now, right, wrong, we're not, we can look at that through the third-person omniscience, where we're looking at the situation and see, oh, this actually was good. But if you put yourself in the shoes of the average dweller of Midgar, or if you look at Avalanche, that was their goal. Their goal was to commit a terrorist act. And some people may say, well, Nim, but, if we look at it this way and that way, it's like, no, I understand the greater context. I get the greater context. I'm limiting the context to the scope of the characters involved in the story that don't have omniscience. The other thing is I'm worried that there may be a slight rewrite of the script, and I don't want that. The reason the first story worked so well, the first go-around of Final Fantasy VII worked so well, is because of the topics it's touched on, because of the themes, the death, the loss, the idea of being, essentially a failure, and then through effort and will, becoming something greater, ultimately surpassing the thing that you were supposed to be a clone of. If you think this rings true, my name being Mimicry is a play on the word mimicry. It's like being a bad copy. So this story resonates very heavily with me. Anyways, outside of all that, I want to know what you guys think about a Final Fantasy VII Remake demo. Are you excited? Are you happy? Are you like, no, I don't want to, just give me the whole experience now. I don't want to, because you'll burn through it in an hour and be like, oh, give me more. You might be like that. In fact, I usually am like that. So right now, I want to thank everybody who's tuned in and watched the video. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all those lovely metric increasing behaviors, and I will see you later on. Take care.